I'm Sara Van Zee, and today in the studio we have four seniors who are all social work majors from Northwestern. And I asked them to come to the studio today because they are starting a program called Impact 180. And so I wanted them to come and just share a little bit about what their journey has been and then how we as a church can partner alongside of them as they move forward. So, can you tell me? Actually, we're going to start. Why don't you tell me your name and where you are originally from?
So I'm Emily Danner, and I'm from Westside, Iowa.
I'm Elizabeth Corver, and I'm from Orange City, so I'm just from here.
I'm Megan Slochter, and I'm from Wilmer, Minnesota.
And I'm Ben Akers, and I'm from Pella, Iowa.
Okay. I would love you to tell everybody what is Impact 180 and what's maybe its mission.
Yeah, I'll go first. So Impact 180 is an after-school program that we're hosting currently in the City Hall. And the point of Impact 180 is to give a safe space for students after school. There's a lot of students that are involved in sports, involved in music, and it's great that some students have those things to go to, and that provides a lot. Provides them those activities, but also provides them that space to go after school while their parents are at work and different things like that. And it provides them positive role models with their coaches and things like that, and with their teammates. It provides interaction. But students that aren't involved in those things, they don't necessarily have anywhere to go after school, and they don't necessarily have those influences from older people on them. So the idea of Impact 180 is then to have college students and adults come and volunteer. And really, we're not doing a whole lot. We're just kind of hanging out, playing games and stuff like that. But that provides a space where we can just, through simple activities, through games and things like that, they can have those positive influences on them. And yeah, just kind of provide that structure and that safe space for them to just be and for them to grow and learn from people that are a little older. So.
Yeah, and Impact 180 was founded. So Jaime Miranda is the intervention specialist at MOC Floyd Valley, and this was kind of his vision. I think he was seeing a lot of students who, didn't have a ton of support at home or through activities, and that impacts. Well, that's funny. It goes with that. Influences kind of academics and just outcomes. And I think that, his idea for this was really just to provide that support that's lacking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes we don't realize how just those small interactions can change the trajectory of one person's life.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a really important key to, it's not, people aren't coming that just are so gifted in so many areas that they're making such a big impact, but they're just coming with what they have and making connections.
Yeah.
I think that that's really cool. So you're doing this, you decide to do this for a class, right? How did that come about? How did you know the need? How did you decide this is where we want to spend our time and energy? Just kind of how did you begin?
So in our community systems class, we were all presented with about 4 different ideas on different impacts that we could make throughout the community. And then after we were presented those ideas, we just kind of thought about and reflected on which one really touched us the most. And then we kind of ranked them, and then after that, we all decided that Impact 180 was something that us 4 were really passionate about. So that's kind of how that started, and how the idea was that we could get involved.
Yeah, I guess how that need was known to me is being from Orange City and going to MOC. And, this is an area where I think a lot of people view this community as just so many people that have great families and great support networks. And, that is the case for a lot of people, but for a lot of people it isn't. And yeah, I think that really touches my heart, just with realizing that people I grew up with, went to school alongside, just really don't have that safety and stability. And yeah, that was just kind of something that like really, really cared about. So, yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes it can be an ongoing that they don't have that safety and security. Sometimes it's just a season of life
Yeah.
that they're going through. And each of us could go through that season at some point. And so to know that, like when Jesus talks about loving your neighbor, I think one of the things he's talking about is seeing ourselves in our neighbor, to realize this might be me tomorrow. And then you get to come alongside me and support me. That it's not just a us, them, but it's a us. And together we all can carry each other's load and burden and support one another. I think that's a really cool way to do it because they're your peers. So you guys have talked a little bit. Sorry, this question isn't on here, but I just wanted you guys to speak to it a little bit because you guys brought it up the last time. You talked a little bit about how you have college students who are helping, but there's like this want and desire for older adults to come and help. And can you speak a little bit to that?
Yeah, so we love to have college students come and help, but the fact is college students' lives are somewhat inconsistent, and they can't always provide that level of mature companionship necessarily that older adults can for these. And yeah, we have some older, like middle-aged volunteers who show up consistently, but we are looking for some older adults to also volunteer to kind of provide that sort of grandparent sort of relationship for these students as well.
We saw, so Mark Vellinga, who works at Atlas, he isn't there anymore, but we kind of just saw that with him. There were several high school students that were just drawn to him when he was volunteering. I think one of them commented he's like a cool grandpa. But yeah, I think there are a lot of middle and high school students who love just having the attention and support of someone from an older generation.
So can you tell me practically, like, what does it look like? What days do you meet? What do you do in your time? Where are you meeting?
So Impact 180 meets every Tuesday and Friday afternoon for an hour and a half after school in the City Hall basement. Yeah, so students can just show up, come and go whenever they want, stay however long they please. Yeah, there's card games they can do, there's coloring, yeah, there's an Xbox they can play. Sometimes they go up in the gym and play volleyball or basketball. Yeah, some students choose to do homework if they would like, so there's really a wide variety of things that people can do or that students choose to do. Yeah, just an opportunity to hang out with, yeah, college students, other adults, and yeah.
Yeah. Anything else that you guys want to add about what it looks like practically? I know one of the things that you guys talked about were people are supplying some snacks after school for that time. I know when my kids come home, they're like, what can I get out of the cupboard? So that's a really cool opportunity if you maybe don't have physical time that you can still provide for what's already happening there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so every week, like you said, at Impact 180, there's some sort of food available for the kids that are there. Kids get done with school and just they're hungry, and it's also a really good way to get kids there. Like they hear there's pizza and they're like, oh yeah, I'll go eat some pizza. So yeah, every week we provide pizza for the kids or some sort of snack. So that would be a great way that like people in the church and in the community, we've just been reaching out looking for volunteers that are willing to either provide their time or their money in order to have food there available. So yeah, that, like I said, that can look like ordering pizza, it can look like making something, or just providing the money for us to do that. So
yeah. And what if somebody could only come one Wednesday out of the month or Tuesday Sorry, in my mind it was Wednesday. That they could only come one Tuesday out of the month. Like,
To volunteer?
yeah.
Okay. Great.
Like, yeah, like
That's awesome.
even if you have an hour and a half in your month
Mm-hmm.
that you can go make connections, even those small little bits add up to a lot. Yeah. What would you say are your hopes for 180? Have you seen it grow? Like, what is your goal moving forward?
We've seen it grow quite a bit this year. The beginning of the year started out a little slow, and we kind of found out that that was due to not great communication. So we've tried to improve that. And yeah, just as word has spread, and I think a lot of kids are really excited about it. We've had a lot of students consistently showing up week after week. So yeah, we've watched it grow quite a bit this year, and we're hoping that that continues.
Another one of our hopes is we want to have 2 separate spaces for both middle school and high school kids. And the way we want to do that is by raising funds for a 501c3. And that would allow us to become a nonprofit. And so one of the biggest reasons we want that is so we can purchase our own insurance, so then we can somehow find a new place to have Impact 180 permanently. So, and having the kids separated creates a different kind of atmosphere, because middle school and high schools, it's kind of a range of just kind of what's going on. So having 2 separate spaces for them would be really good for the future of Impact 180.
Yeah, we don't really have the resources to do that right now, but we're hoping that that can change in the future.
Yeah, and having that permanent location just adds a huge range of things and like opportunities for Impact 180, as like having games that can stay there, or like an air hockey table or something like that, or just like not having to transport stuff like TVs and such to a location and back every time, because it's been a lot of work for some awesome volunteers that have been doing a great job moving that stuff around. But to have that permanent location would just take a huge load off of those people, and would just provide opportunities for different activities to happen, and yeah, just to have a solid space where this is Impact 180. And so.
Well, I appreciate that you guys are coming and sharing. I love that you're giving us tangible things, like we can help financially, we can help with snacks, we can help actually being there and creating relationships. I'm really excited about the vision that you guys had, because sometimes we see issues and we're like, what do we do about it? And so our church is actually going to partner with you financially so that you can get your 501c3. And I really look forward to watching how this vision and you guys taking hold of it and gaining some traction, how it continues to grow and impacts the youth of our community. So thank you guys for
Thank
being
you.
here.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
thank
much.
you.
Yeah.